I want to talk about this big Supreme Court case that's being argued this week. AT&T Mobility versus Concepcion. The Concepcions were a couple in California who took on an offer from AT&T to get a free cell phone. Of course, nothing's free in this life. They had to pay sales tax of $30.26 or something like that on the free cell phone. So they filed suit against AT&T, and they went into a class action, or they wanted to make it a class action suit, as they could do under California state law. However, there's apparently a federal law that AT&T claimed prohibited them from making this into a class action suit. So this case worked its way up to the Supreme Court, and they're hearing arguments now. And the reason it's so fascinating, well, there are many, and I don't understand them, and I shouldn't be doing this vlog in the first place because I'm not qualified, and a lawyer should be doing it. And in fact, you can read a good article by Dahlia Lithwick on it, and I'll post the link to that in the description. But this is a big case, finally, for the four hypocrites on the Supreme Court. Scalia, Roberts, Thomas, and Alito. Let's see if they're a bunch of frauds or if they have any little sliver of principle left, or principle as they claim it. Because this case pits the notion of states' rights against what we all know is their true motivation, which is to protect businesses and large corporations. So the states' rights position is that California law allows the Concepcions to make this into a class action lawsuit, and that the case should proceed against AT&T. But the argument by AT&T is that there's a federal law that overrides this. And arguments are this week. We'll see what the result is. I don't know when the case will be ruled on. Maybe it'll be soon. Maybe it'll be at the end of the term in June. Who knows? But it's a marker to see what these justices really believe in. I want to talk a little bit about this big Supreme Court case that is I want to talk about this very important, big legal case that's being heard in front of the Supreme Court this week. Really, I shouldn't be doing this. Someone qualified should be doing this discussion, a lawyer or something like that. But to cover myself, I'm going to link to Dahlia Lithwick's article about it in the little description box here on YouTube. So the case is Concepcion, or it's actually AT&T Mobility versus Concepcion. The Concepcions were a couple living in California who took advantage of an offer AT&T had out there for a free cell phone. Of course, nothing's really free in the world, so they had to pay sales tax on their free cell phone of $30.26. This apparently outraged them, and they decided to file or enter into a class action lawsuit against AT&T. AT&T claims that there's a federal arbitration law that prohibits them from making this into a class action lawsuit, but the California Supreme Court wanted the class action lawsuit to proceed under very consumer-friendly California state laws. So one of the things that makes this such a huge case is it's finally a major decision point for the four hypocrites on the Supreme Court, the right-wing hypocrites, starting with Scalia, Thomas, Roberts, and Alito. They claim they're in favor of states' rights, in which case they would rule in favor of the Concepcions. But we all suspect that their real interest is to protect the right, not the rights, but to protect the interests of large corporate America, in which case they would rule in favor of AT&T. But if they do that, wow, there is not a shred of decency or validity or principle left in those guys. So I can't wait for this ruling. I don't know when it's going to be, whether it'll be soon or at the end of the term. But check out Dahlia Lithwick's article and keep in tune, keep in touch, and keep updated on how this Supreme Court case works itself out. And I will help by writing by doing a vlog when it's over. All right, thanks. Bye.